Hi, I'm Crystal Darby with the UTSA Small Business Development Center, and I'm here to talk to you about starting a business. So, as I said, Crystal Darby, Senior Business Advisor. I've been with the Small Business Development Center for about 9 years, and I had my own business for 12 prior to that. So let's get started. So the UTSA SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, we do management and technical advising, and there are about 1,100 SBDCs around the country. Our business advising is at no cost to you, and it's absolutely confidential. So anything that you share with us does not get shared, except occasionally with other advisors so we can get some more advice if there's something we don't know exactly how to help you with. We do low or no cost workshops, about 200 a year. Most of them right now are virtual. We are normally at the downtown campus, but of course all of us at this point are working virtually. And we've got tons of resources. We work with small businesses before they get started, after they've gotten started and want to grow to the next level. It doesn't matter how old your business is or how new you are to the whole game. The oldest business that I work with is on their 3rd generation of ownership, and the youngest is one that hasn't started yet. We serve Bexar County and the 11 counties surrounding, but as I said, there are other SBDCs around the country. And we also have sister centers that can also help you with particular needs. We've got PTAC, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. So if you're interested in government contracting, we have plenty of advisors who can help you with that. We've got the sbdcnet.org. This is an information clearinghouse. They do research, but their website has a ton of information, especially things like industry reports and business plan samples and just about anything you could use. But we can also get detailed research for your company in particular and your industry in particular. If you're interested in doing importing and exporting, we've got the International Trade Center. They can help too. If you've got technology that you're thinking about bringing to market, we've got advisors who are experts on that and can help you with that process, especially if you're doing SBIR or STTR grants through the federal government. And then we've got our COVID-19 Business Recovery Center. If you're having some issues still with your business getting through all of this pandemic, please let us know. We're happy to help with that. And we've also got an HR advisor, somebody who's very knowledgeable about HR rules and regulations and can help guide you through that process, especially to help you with personnel handbooks and hiring practices as well as firing practices. So number one thing that I tell my clients all the time is that if you're getting ready to start a business, or if you're thinking about doing a different line of business in your existing business, you really need to be solving a problem. If there isn't a problem that you're solving, then more than likely you don't have a business. The only time that's not true is, my iPhone. I didn't know I had a problem to begin with, but certainly they, discovered what that problem was. And so who are you solving it for? Who is the most likely person to be interested in your solution to their problem? And do they already know they have a problem? Or are you going to have to educate your consumer before they'd be willing to purchase? So think about what makes you different from every other business out there. And that is the benefit that you're going to offer to your customer and how you're going to solve their needs and their problems and what makes you different from the competition. Really important to kind of figure that out. Now, you don't have to be completely different. I mean, San Antonio has more than its fair share of Mexican restaurants, but usually the ones that do well have something special going for them. The best salsa, the best tortillas, the best tamales, whatever. There's something that helps them stand out and helps them continue to get customers. So think about how you're going to frame your business to be a little bit different from the rest. And how are you going to make money? So can you find a way to work on the business rather than in it? And a lot of us have had businesses, mine included, where it was really just about me. There was very little way to scale that business or repeat the revenue model so that I can make money even while I wasn't actually working on the business. So if you can find a way to repeat that revenue model, the way you can make money even when you're sleeping, online businesses can do that for you, but there's certainly other ways to do it. And then before you even get started, start thinking about how much it's going to cost for you to open the business. Now, the list that we've got on this slide really has to deal a lot with retail, actual storefront businesses. But even if you've got a home-based business, there are going to be costs to get started. Maybe you need a new computer. Maybe you need an extra monitor. Maybe you need a new desk. I mean, think about all of the costs that you're going to have to go into. If you're going into a lease space, very often sometimes the landlord will help with those renovation costs or the build out costs. You're definitely going to have to do some advertising and promotion, even if it's just social media. But remember, there's a cost to social media. It may not be money, but it's definitely going to be time. And so you have to do some of it or nobody will know that you've opened. And then are you going to have to spend money on licenses and permits? Depending on the industry, you may have that. And then the other part of the costs are, what is it going to take for you to operate this business day in and day out, month to month? Are you utility bills? Are you going to have rent? What are those costs? That's working capital. And usually you're going to want to see 3, 6, or maybe even 12 months of working capital kind of saved up before you get going. Now, if your business is one that's not going to cost a lot to get started and maybe not to cost too much to run, then that 12 months of working capital won't be very much, but you need to make sure that you've got your personal expenses covered as well. So here are a few sources of money to start your business. I don't recommend credit cards because those interest rates can pop up on you really, really quickly, but these are certainly some other ones. We've always said that the first place you should go is family, friends, and fools. Well, maybe the first two, okay? But personal savings are going to be involved. You can go to lenders, although when you're first starting a business, it is incredibly difficult to get a loan because you don't have any business credit. So it will be based on your personal credit if you can get a loan at all. And then here are the keys to success. You really, really need to have a passion for your business and enjoy what you do. I've talked to a number of clients who come in and they say, I just want to make money. I always worry about them because for the first 2 years or so, you're going to be working day and night in this business. The whole time I had a business, I didn't have a holiday. I had very few weekends. Now in the job I'm in, I don't have to market my services and I don't have to invoice my clients. So it's a really nice place to be at my age. But I will tell you that when you first start, it's pretty much 24/7. Getting a good night's sleep is pretty much unheard of during that first year. So make sure that it's fun, that it's something you really enjoy doing, that you've got a passion for. Having a personality that matches with what you're doing. If you're not outgoing, most businesses are going to need somebody who can do sales because you've got to be able to pull people in. So make sure that you've got a way to do that, even if it means bringing on an employee or somebody else who can do the sales for you. And again, competitive advantage, having ideas and answers that others don't, which we talked about earlier. You have to be willing to invest some money. There's just no way around that. You've got to be able to put in a little bit, no matter what the business is. Your timing has to be good. Think about it. You wouldn't want to be a typewriter sales repairman right now. There are certain industries that are not on the growth side, and so you want to be super careful about that. And then probably the biggest key to success is to do business and financial planning so that you know what's ahead of you. A business plan doesn't have to be formal unless you're going for a loan, but you certainly want to do the planning, and writing it down is probably the most important step. So some of the resources that we recommend, the Office of the Governor has a small business handbook that is incredibly helpful, can lead you through step by step on everything that you need to do to get started. And we have a survival guide, a small business survival guide that's available on our website. An intern of mine last summer, Vicki Maida, put this together, and I'm so proud of the work she did. But this is an amazing, amazing brochure or booklet to help you kind of figure out everything, not just during a pandemic, but everything else that can go wrong. Because trust me, a lot of things can go wrong. The city can decide right after you've opened your restaurant to do massive plumbing repair in the street right in front of your front door. How do you survive that? How do you survive a bad Yelp review? All of this stuff is things that you really need to think about, and this booklet outlines a lot of that. We've got a number of information sections on our website, so please go to www.usasbdc.org for local, state, federal requirements, and plus access to our training programs. We've got an amazing calendar filled with workshops that I think you'll find really, really helpful. So these are probably your next steps. There's a Start Smart workshop that we offer 2-3 times a month that you'll find extremely helpful. Half of it is taught by one of our advisors. The other half is taught by a business attorney. So, you know, sign up for one of those classes before you start your business. I think we can save you some time and probably a lot of money too. And then start building your team. Please, please come take advantage of the no-cost advising services that we offer. As I said, we're normally at the downtown campus. We do have one advisor in New Braunfels. All of us are working virtually right now, but you can certainly use our services. I'm holding sessions, and most of us are holding sessions on Zoom or by phone, so we're happy to help you. Finding an attorney that can help you through the business formation and figuring out, especially if you've got partners, you want to make sure you've got all of those partnership agreements locked down. Find a financial institution, and hopefully with someone you can talk to. You know, I don't have a problem with big banks, but sometimes a credit union can be more helpful, or a smaller bank, and maybe something local. During this pandemic, I've seen most of the smaller local financial institutions doing a really good job for their clients. That's not across the board, certainly, but you might want to consider, go and talk to some folks at each of the ones you're considering and find the best fit for you. Same thing with a CPA or an accountant or bookkeeper. You're probably going to want to find a CPA for tax time, at least. Having a bookkeeper, somebody that can kind of fill in any of the issues that you're having problems with. And for most of my clients, the books are the biggest issue. They know what they want to do in their business, but running that business is not the easiest thing in the world. So that's it for me. I hope this was helpful. And please, please give this number a call, set up an appointment. That number is 210-458-2460. A very wonderful woman who will answer that phone will get you hooked up with an advisor and can also give you more information about our training programs and anything else you need. And I'm happy that I was able to do this and enjoy the conference.